Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, as we delve into this painting here. So as you can see, I am painting Croc again. This is the second part of Croc. And I thought that I wouldn't be kind of doing this again, where I would have kind of a part one, part two, and probably part three of a painting. I didn't think I would do that again. The plan was to stay away from that, to try and keep, each painting being a new video. Um, but unfortunately, due to kind of time and just this painting taking longer than it should, and there's been a couple of paintings just before this taking a little longer than they should as well. Um, I've had to be like, well, I gave myself another 2 weeks um, to keep painting this croc piece, and I've just again had to be like, I need another 2 weeks. Just because I don't feel like it's fully finished, and it's definitely one of those pieces that I'm like, I want this piece to kind of have a bit more kind of impact, I guess. Um, have a bit more say, and also possibly be in my portfolio, kind of a thing. Because this is a children's game, it's the kind of place I want to be at, the things I want to be doing. So I definitely, I know this is kind of a fan art, it's kind of a concept art kind of a thing. It's kind of, um, uh, yeah, it definitely a retake on this image, and I definitely also don't want to be kind of just saying, "Oh yeah, that'll do," and walk away from it. Um, so that's the decision I've had to make. So you'll see me do kind of the final parts next week, and also with that as well, I have been watching a bit of schoolism. I don't watch it too often, because I do like to just kind of chillax and paint while I listen to my music, kind of a thing. And but I do every now and again. I try to put some schoolism on in the background. Um, every now and again, I've kind of got to be in the right mindset, which is an interesting aspect, because I'm a kind of artist that just kind of does art. I don't have to be in the right headspace or anything to do art per se. I just kind of get along with it. Um, but yeah, schoolism. It's I don't always want to be listening to that kind of thing, like art school stuff, um, all the time. But it's awesome and it's great. I do listen to it. I try to do like at least once a week or something like that. Schedule in like once a week, where this is my downtime. I think that's what I need to do with it. I need to be like, well, um, this is your times that you have to during the week, at least an hour. If I start there, where it's like I have to listen to at least an hour of schoolisms, um, then that will kind of make it easier, because it's like, well, I need to listen to an hour a week, um, and that sounds like a good plan actually. But anyway, I was listening to it, and he was saying, the aspect of, I think it's like the 30-70 rule or something, or 40-60, something like that. But basically, this rule means that like 30% of your time is spent on, or 40%, whatever it was, 40% of the time is like dealing with the nitty gritty not the nitty gritty, the kind of the overall aspect of the art piece. You know, the what it is you're painting, where everything goes, the perspective, um, and kind of vaguely putting everything in and making it look good. Where the other 60% of the time is polishing it off and that really pushing it, really making it pop. That's the other 60% of it, and that has also got me thinking like, well, um, if that's I feel like things are finished, I could really push things more. Like if I say it's finished, it's not. Until I keep painting it, and I've just like overdone it. Um, but it gets to that point where I just need to keep going and keep pushing, keep painting on the piece really because um, yeah. And there's so many things I wanted to flesh out with this piece. Um, I'm here. I'm painting this. I don't really want to come back to this per se. I mean, I could back it in the future, but the more I do that, the less likely I will because I probably got heaps of art pieces that I've done that I've been like, I want to come back to this piece eventually and fix this and this up. While here, it's easier to fix it up now than it is to kind of fix it up, a month or so from now. While you're here, it's kind of like leaving a hole in the wall. Um, it's like fixing the rest of the wall and there's like a little hole, a little patch you just leave there. It's easier to keep going and finish that patch than it is to come back a month later and fix it up. Uh, kind of an aspect like that. That hole's just seen for the next month and it could become bigger, that kind of aspect. So it becomes a bit more difficult to come back to it a month or two later because one, you probably forget about it, and two, you probably have other paintings that you're working on at the moment. So I really want to stick around a little bit longer. I've added this door here has this the villain character in it because I'm doing just one Croc painting. This is my Croc painting. I really want to kind of add everything I can that will give you a feeling for the whole game. That's why I don't just have Croc there. I also have the Bumblebee, which I haven't even, I haven't even really touched that bee, painted anything on top of that bee or anything really. I've been dealing with mainly the background, and same with Croc. I've only done a little bit of bits and pieces of Croc. So it is a lot of things that I haven't even really um, polished or touched. So I feel like it definitely I do definitely um, have a lot of potential to really push this forward. Um, and that will take a lot more work. That 60% of work I really got to do. Um, but I've played around with things. Um, and those gems too. This is where I just fiddle around with the gems, trying to make them look good. In the end, I decided to use Blender. If you've heard of a 3D software called Blender, it's awesome. To create me a shape, and I used that shape, put it into Photoshop here, and then repainted it. I could have gone further with this, but I think this was taking up a little too much time for me, and I would have taken a long time to get this right. So using a already created shape for me helps and takes away a lot of the time. Although it's good that I've worked this out and done a few shadings and things like this with this you know, painting this. So, you know, no time is wasted per se. But yeah, I've used it to create these gems here. As you can see, they just look like they're floating there. They don't look like they're really in that scene yet. Like I said, it still is getting there. And you know, I think I would have called it about finished. Um, you know, and be like, oh, it's about finished. I'm pretty happy with it. But, you know, I still feel like I can push it. And I think this is a piece that I really do want to um, really put a lot more time and effort into this piece here. I feel like now that I've got so many pieces under my belt, um, that I could uh, start stopping, maybe even creating more, and just work on the ones I do have, maybe, and going backwards, kind of a thing. Um, but just leveling up my aspect, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. Um, but I think this is hitting a pinnacle point in uh, kind of my arts journey at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed seeing this part 2 being created. Part 3 will come. I do apologize if there's a part 4, but if there's a part 4, there's part 4. You know, I'm writing this journey, and I'm trying to just trying to paint this through and trying to get it the best I can. It's my one shot at getting this painting the best I can. Croc was an amazing game for me. So yeah, I look forward to seeing it being finished. So thank you guys, keep creating, and we'll see you in the next video.